ACTV News, your bi-weekly ACTV broadcast of news and updates for the Assumption College community. I'm Erin Keating.
And I'm Elaine Cavallari. This week on ACTV News.
Ambar Rosas interviews Hannah White from Guam for this week's student feature. For Professor Highlight, Danielle Rassicott introduces us to Professor Cohen of the History Department. Daniel Carrito asks students about their favorite Patriots player for this week's Question of the Week. All this and more this week on ACTV. We hope everyone had a relaxing Christmas break. Now that we're back, it's time for a new semester with new classes and new professors. For this week's Professor Highlight, we got a chance to get to know Professor Cohen of the History Department. Let's take a look.
For this week's Professor Highlight, ACTV has chosen Professor Cohen, who has been teaching here at Assumption for the last 20 years.
I always liked history. I liked history when I was a little kid. I played with, Civil War soldiers and things like that, and read kid history books, and I just always have been into it. It just always caught my imagination, I guess.
Professor Cohen tells us about his biggest challenge in teaching.
I'd say the biggest challenge is I used to have classes that would be totally silent, and I would try anything to get people to talk.
Speaking in front of a lot of people can be nerve-wracking until you begin to relate to them.
When I started out, I was actually pretty nervous in the classroom. It just somehow started relating to students much better. And then for the last 10, 12 years, it's been really fun.
Professor Cohen tells us about his favorite part of teaching his students.
I mean, whenever I'm reading history, I tend to think of, well, how could I present this in a class and sort of, here's this and here's this, and can you figure out sort of how they link? I just love kind of presenting part of the stuff to students and then watching them sort of figure out a whole bunch of other things on their own. And I guess that's really my motivation.
I'm Danielle Rassicott, ACTV News.
Thanks, Danny, for introducing us to Professor Cohen. Do you have any professors that you think should be featured on next week's Professor Highlight? Tweet us with your suggestions at ACTV_news.
With Assumption being located in New England, we have lots of Patriots fans among us. Here at ACTV, our love for Tom Brady and the Pats inspired us to do 2 segments dedicated to the team. First, I decided to ask students about what they thought the score was going to be. Let's see if anyone got it right.
Patriots 27, Eagles 20.
34-7. I'm going to win.
The Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl 27-21.
Pats 34-20.
20 to us, 17 them.
45-10 Pats.
27-21 Patriots.
Eagles 24, Patriots 17.
Okay, Pats win 27-24.
27-17. Yeah, the Pats.
The Patriots winning 35-30-ish, around there.
And I think the prediction is 21-14.
36 Patriots and 23 Eagles.
Patriots 35, Eagles 21. Game.
I'm going to go 31-23.
35-24 Patriots.
35-21 Patriots. I'm going to be dumb sick if you...
With the score being 41-33 Eagles, the winner of our Super Bowl prediction contest is Xavier Carmona. Although the Pats lost, we know next season is going to be Blitz for 6. Next, Dan Carrito asked students about who their favorite Patriot player is.
With the Pats entering their 6th Super Bowl, I decided to ask students who their favorite player is on the team. So who's your favorite Patriots player?
Danny Amendola. Danny Amendola.
So my favorite player's probably got to be Tom Brady. I mean, he's the GOAT, obviously, so no other explanation for that, but definitely my favorite player on the team.
My favorite player is Danny Amendola. So I think that Tom Brady is the greatest football player of all time because, first of all, he's gorgeous. Please tell me another football player that you know that's not gorgeous. Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo, and guess what? He used to play on the Patriots. So, also, he's been the quarterback of the Patriots for God knows how long, since I was a child, and I'm so old. So it's just, you got to stay with tradition. So Tom Brady, final answer. Thank you very much.
Who's my favorite Pats player? Well, isn't it obvious? Tom Brady, of course. He's like the best player ever. That arm, come on, you can't work with that.
All right, I'd have to say my favorite player is Danny Amendola. Past couple weeks throughout the playoffs, he's been clutch. Brady's always can depend on him, and he's been making some really great grabs, so I'm really excited to see what he does in the Super Bowl.
I'm not really a big fan of the Patriots, but I do love Amendola. I think he's really pretty.
Tom Brady.
Danny Amendola.
I'm not really of individual kind of guy. I like the entire team, honestly.
Who's your favorite Patriots player?
Tom Brady, obviously, and Danny Amendola.
Would have to be Gronkowski. Yeah. Why? Because, you know, he's huge and he's a monster. Yeah. He's an absolute beast. Yeah.
Like most people, it seems definitely to be Tom Brady. Every time I've ever watched like a good football game with the Patriots playing, dude, every time I've seen it, Tom Brady has just been amazing. I remember watching the last Super Bowl, and it was like almost near the end. I was like, I left to use the bathroom, and I came back, and then they were winning. I was like, whoa! And he just blew my mind, and that's what I love about Tom Brady, because he's just able to do that all the time. So, yeah, Tom Brady all the way.
I'm Dan Carrito, ACTV News.
Thanks, Dan. Congrats to both teams for their great seasons. We are already counting down the days till next season.
To kick the semester off, SGA worked with administration to form a partnership with Uber. Starting now, Uber will be offering certain ride programs for students. First, they are offering the Consortium Ride program, which will run throughout the spring semester. Available to any students taking classes in the Worcester area, Assumption will pay for your ride to and from class. Next, there is the Safe Ride program. If you start your ride from anywhere in Worcester and on campus, Assumption will pay for $4 of your ride. This program is available 24/7 throughout the month of February. Finally, there is the Transportation Off-Campus program, which is also doing a trial run during February. Available from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. every day, Assumption will pay for $4 of your ride. This is available if you start your ride on campus and go to any of the following locations: Lincoln Plaza, Showcase Worcester North, Union Station, or Shrewsbury Street. Make sure to take advantage of all these awesome programs. Next, we have a sports update with Jill Fellows.
Thanks, Erin. On January 27th, the Assumption College men's hockey team took on Franklin Pierce and won 4-3. The Greyhounds currently hold a 12-9-2 record and will be playing their next home game on February 16th at the Buffon Rink in Worcester. In other news, the Assumption men and women's basketball teams have been fighting through their seasons. The women's team has an overall record of 7-14, and the men's team holds a record of 6-16 on the season. Both of their next home games will be played this Saturday, February 10th. I'm Jill Fellows, ACTV News. Thanks, Jill. Make sure to support your fellow hounds during this spring season. Campus Activities Board is back and ready to make the most of the spring semester. The club is looking forward to hosting events and activities that they have never done before. Upcoming events include a performance by Abe Parker, a singer-songwriter, on February 10th. Next, they have Siblings Weekend, which will take place from February 23rd to 25th. Make sure to keep an eye out for any other CAB events coming up.
Coming back to school means keeping up with your New Year's resolutions. In order to encourage students to do this, Plord offers an incentive that will get students to go to the gym more often. Jill Fellows is back and ready to tell us about Hound Hustle.
With the start of the spring semester, students are ready to get back into their gym routine. One way you can do this is by participating in Hound Hustle, the online competition that tracks your workouts.
Thanks, Jill. Make sure to log your workouts for some awesome prizes.
For this week's Assumption's Got Talent, John McCormick interviewed Tim Cody, who shows us his magic skills.
This week on Assumption's Got Talent, we have Tim Cody, a sophomore psychology and philosophy major whose talent is card tricks.
Ashley, I want you to pick a card, any card. Take a good look at it, show it to the audience. And then slide it right on back in, just like this. Anywhere. All right, you have your card in mind? You know what it is? Okay, what I want you to do, I'm gonna turn around. What I want you to do, I want you to trace your card in the air. Like, so if your number was 11, like put an 11. If you have a heart, put a heart. Make sense? Okay, I'm gonna turn around. Okay, you did it? All right, so your imprint's still in the air. Now it's in the cards. Your cards know what, these cards, they know what yours is now. You wanna check? Okay, let's look at it.
What?
Is that your card?
Yes.
Did you realize magic was your talent?
I have a friend of mine who I used to lead retreats with all the time, and he liked to do these magic tricks for the youth on those retreats. And after just watching him do it, it was just a lot of fun. And I tried them myself, and just a few tricks that I watched him do. And yeah, it was really cool, and I just got better and better at it as I kept going. So we're first just gonna go through all the cards, make sure there's nothing out of the ordinary, that everything seems pretty shuffled. So far, so good?
Yep.
It's pretty good, all shuffled. Okay, ready? Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
This one?
Yeah.
All right, this is your card?
Yeah.
All right, this is your card.
Okay.
It's your card. Here you go, go for it, shuffle. You ready?
Yes.
Now don't panic. Okay. Now, our minds are now linked. I don't need the cards anymore. All I need is just focus, and I'm gonna read your mind to figure out what your card is, okay? Don't tell me if I'm on the right track. Don't tell me if I'm getting closer, if I'm getting further away. Don't tell me yes, don't tell me no. No reaction, just try to stay neutral, okay? Your card black, or is it red? Black, red. Black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red. I think your card is red. Okay, I'm gonna go with red. Okay, ready? That means heart or a diamond. Heart, diamond, heart, diamond, heart, diamond, heart, diamond, heart, diamond, heart, diamond. I'm feeling heart. Your card's a heart. So high card, low card. High card, low card. High card, low card. High card, low card. I'm thinking somewhere in between, neither high nor low. So it's either 5, 6, 7, or 8. So, or 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not too high. 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. 5, 6. 5, 6. 5, 6. 5, 6. Is your card the 6 of hearts?
Yeah.
Well, who has inspired you?
Probably that same friend. His name's Sam. He's from Georgia, and yeah, we're really close friends. Been so for about 2.5 years.
Based off of that, how has Assumption helped you, or if not Assumption, then who?
You know, Assumption's provided me with a good opportunity to, do these tricks, and to share my fun and talent with those around me. Like I have a bunch of friends in the LOC who I've done these tricks with, and they really enjoy it, and they make me want to do it more. This next trick, I only need 21 cards. Before we start, can you just count to make sure that's 21?
Yep.
Okay. All right, it's a bigger card. Okay. You want to show it to the audience? Okay. Now I'm going to create 4 piles. I want you to put down your card on one of the piles as I'm making the piles. Okay, make sense?
Yep.
Pick them up. Okay. All right, is your card in this row, or this row?
This row.
The middle row?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll put the middle row in the middle. Just make sure. This is not your card, right?
No.
Okay. I want you to pick 3 flowers. No, I want you to pick 2. Oh, sorry, just one. Just one. And pick 2 cards. And pick 1 card. Flip that card.
What the heck?
I'm John McCormick, ACTV News.
Thanks, John. Do you have anyone who you think should be featured? You can tweet us at ACTV News to sign up. By the end of the spring semester, we will be casting a poll on Twitter for followers to vote for their favorite contestant on Assumption's Got Talent. The person with the most votes will be the winner of the year and will receive prizes as a reward.
Last semester, we introduced a new segment called Student Feature, where we interviewed members of the Assumption community from all different parts of the world. For this week's Student Feature, Ambar Rosas interviews Hannah White from Guam, who talks about her journey to Assumption.
For this week's Student Highlight, ACTV News had the opportunity of speaking with first-year student Hannah White.
I'm a freshman mass communications major from the U.S. territory of Guam.
Hannah shared some of the differences and similarities between living in Guam and Massachusetts.
You guys don't eat as much rice as we do back home, so that was a little weird. But I also found that like the community aspect that I had at home, I also can feel here. So like walking down the halls, like if I see someone who I have in a class or who I had in a class, I can like smile and wave at them, and they'd smile and wave back. And people hold the doors open for you, like when you're 10 feet away. And you never have like no one to sit with at lunch. You walk into Tays and you see your friends there.
She explained why she chose Assumption College for her undergraduate education.
Aside from the fact that it was the small liberal arts school that I knew I wanted to go to, I also really liked Assumption's emphasis on service and also the community aspect that I really felt when I was here on a tour before I applied.
Hannah has formed part of the Assumption community through different ways.
I'm involved with the Latin Dance Club. I'm also a volunteer tour guide for student ambassadors. I'm a member of Greenhounds, and I'm a staff writer for the Provoc, the school newspaper.
She shares important advice to upcoming students.
I've learned that naps are important. I've also learned that while grades matter, what matters a lot more are like the life lessons that you get out of the class. Like, I mean, you know, of course, things like how to read and write properly, but also like what can you do with this information? Why is it important? And how can you apply it to your life? And what does this mean about what you want to do when you're out of college?
Hannah uses her experiences living in a U.S. territory.
It's a little different, of course, being on an island. And so there are a lot of like international cultures. There's a lot of Asian cultures, Pacific Islander cultures, even a little bit Hispanic cultures. But it's just a really unique like melting pot. I mean, you always say America is a melting pot. I feel like the territories are really a prime example of that.
This is Ambar Rosas, ACTV News.
Thank you to Ambar and Hannah for that inside look, and congratulations to Hannah for her amazing journey to Assumption. Do you have anyone that you think should be featured in our student feature? Tweet us with your suggestions at ACTV_news.
That concludes this week's episode of ACTV News. This broadcast was brought to you by the ACTV Club and the services of the Duke Pasquale Media Center. ACTV airs on Channel 2.3 every other week.
Make sure to follow us on social media to get news updates and reach out to us with ideas and comments. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube by searching ACTV. I'm Erin Keating.
And I'm Elaine Cavallari. Thanks for watching.
Whose talent is card tricks.
That was a little harsh.
I know.
X, Dan Cartoa. Cartoa. What's her last name? I don't know.
Cartoa? There's no A, A, H, or W in his name at all.
Have you participated in Hound Hustle?
I have.
How many points do you have?
51.
And what's your goal points?
100.
How come?
I don't know. I just picked it.
I do want to be your confirmation sponsor.
What do I put my hands?
Down, I can see. Okay. 6. Next, Dan Carota asked students about what their favorite Patriot player is. What?
Carito!
You want me to eat it too, Elaine? Like, jeez. All right.
Here's what I do. Dan Dorito.
Yes, Dorito Carito.
Dorito?
No.
Dorito Carito?
Dorito? It's Carito, but pronounce it like Dorito.
Carito. Dan Carito Dorito.
Real quick. It's okay. Yeah, hi, Tim Kelly.
Here we go.